Helen, thank you so much for joining us inside the Hive. This weekend, big game against Palace here at Vicarage Road. What's it been like for you guys playing here? Because it's been awesome to see the amount of games that we're getting here for the women's team.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, me personally as a Watford fan, it makes it all the more special. Hopefully we can get loads of people in on the weekend to come and support us. And yeah, the surface out there is incredible. You know, it's one of the best pitches in the country, let alone in the women's game. So for us to be out there and playing on it, you know, for so many home games is great for us. And the only trouble is the opposition like coming here too, so we have to try and make it a bit more of a fortress and use it to our advantage. But no complaints from us. It's fantastic, and it, you know, shows how much of a part of the club we are.
No, completely. And I guess it's really great as well, isn't it, for like those younger fans in the stand. You know, for decades we've had like young boys in the crowd being able to see their idols play on the pitch, and now they can see their women's idols playing on the pitch as well, which inspires another entire different generation of young girls.
It does. And I mean, I've got a little girl who's been a fan of ours for a long time, and I spoke to her mum, I think it was after we played Liverpool here, and she said that Isla had said, "Oh, that's going to be me one day." And that's the first time really they've been, like you said, that they've been able to say that and see themselves there in, you know, however many years in the future. And, you know, hopefully I'll be sat in the stands watching her play here one day, and it'll be something that's, you know, completely normal.
No, it certainly will. Let's talk about life in the Championship. Obviously it's been a difficult start. How are you finding it?
Yeah, as you said, it's been a rough start. We've played some of the top teams from last season, so it was always going to be difficult. But you know, we're finding our feet. Our performances are getting there, even if the results aren't showing that at the moment. But we've got a very together group. We're going to stick to what we know and what we do best. Clint's got a lot of faith in us, and I have a lot of faith in us as well. So I've no doubt that those results will start coming. As I said, the performances are getting there, and that's the most important thing for us, that we're not going to lose hope. And yeah, I'm certainly hoping that we can go on a little run, hopefully before Christmas, pick up some points and build some momentum going into the new year.
Obviously, we're very blessed to have a player like yourself with an incredible international pedigree. We've also got Emma Beckett in there as well. How useful have you found that with the younger players, being able to learn off you and the advice you're being able to give?
Yeah, hopefully they find it helpful. I think, you know, Emma's got international experience herself, and there's a couple of others in there that have got fantastic experience at this level and higher. Anna Maywild, Megan Chandler, to name a couple. And I think the younger players and some of the girls that haven't played at this level before, hopefully they feel they're able to lean on us for that experience. But yeah, that, you know, they're pushing us as much as we're pushing them. They're a talented group of girls. And I've no doubt they are ready for it, although, as I said, the results haven't necessarily shown that so far. We've seen glimpses from every player in the squad that they're more than ready for the challenge, and, you know, it's exciting to be working with them.
Obviously, being part of the club is incredibly special as well. How have you found the support from the club with the training? And we've obviously mentioned about playing here at Vicarage Road, but, you know, really feeling part of this Watford family.
Yeah, it means the world. I mean, I was at Watford as a youngster, and the change in the women's team and how we're integrated in the club is unbelievable. And for the last 2 or 3 years since I've been here, it's only gone from strength to strength. We've got some real good allies within the men's club, Richard Walker to name just one, who really backs us and is in our corner. But it feels like we don't really need that anymore. We are just part of the club, and it's accepted now. Train at the training ground, we're playing games here, and we're getting as much support as we can from the club, and, you know, that goes a long way, both on and off the pitch. So hopefully that bond and that relationship can just keep growing, and it'll be like that for forevermore.
Yeah, no, completely. Of course, we've got the draw for the Women's European Championship today as well. Of course, that's going to be played in the United Kingdom next year. It's amazing seeing how much the women's game's growing, isn't it? The exposure it's getting on TV and the support that just seems to grow week by week.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, obviously, I'm disappointed that I'm not there myself with Wales, but it would be great to see such a big tournament on, you know, home soil, if you like. And I think it's going to only do big things for the game. It's only going to raise the profile to see the world's best players, or the Europe's best players, coming to town. And, you know, we see a lot of them week in, week out in the WSL, but to see them with their international teams and all the stars coming over, I think will be fantastic. And like you said, each week it's going from strength to strength, and I think that'll only enhance it, and hopefully we'll see more and more of it in the future.
We certainly will. And just finally, obviously we've got this game, Crystal Palace, at the weekend. One you're looking forward to?
Yeah, definitely. We look forward to every game. We've had a good couple of weeks training. I've obviously missed it. I've been away with Wales, but I've been told that the girls have been working hard and getting to grips with the game plan for this weekend. So hopefully we can see a lot of fans there to cheer us on in their Halloween costumes and spur us on to 3 points.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us from Inside the Hive tonight. We're going to let you go off training now, but best of luck for the weekend, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
There we go. Great to hear from Helen ahead of their game here at Vicarage Road on Sunday. And Tommy, Helen touched on it there. It's fantastic that the women are getting the opportunity to play at Vicarage Road and make this their home as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I was lucky enough to see the game against Charlton. Not the greatest result, but certainly just to see them at Vicarage Road and the supporters coming into the Graham Taylor stand and watching the game. I think it's essentially, whether it's the women's team or the men's team or the academy team, you're wearing the same badge, so you come and support the club, whoever's wearing that badge on whatever day it is. So I think it's great that now the women's team is certainly getting the exposure they deserve.
And Gifton, you're going to get involved with the women's team, doing some coaching as well. I think you've done 1 or 2 sessions already. How's it going?
Yeah, I've done a session on Tuesday with them. Enjoyed it, really enjoyed it. I love women's football. I love football in general, like women's football, youth football, adults, wherever football is. So just being with the women, the energy, the environment was really good. So I'm looking forward to getting my teeth into a bit more of coaching sessions and doing a bit more of them.
Because obviously it's a massive learning curve this season. We said results may be disappointing, but actually this is a big step up for the club. They've got some great experience in that side as well. From your perspective, from a coaching style, how does the women's game adapt from the youth coaching and the men's coaching you've done? I guess every different level of football is a different style of coaching.
Yeah, football is football overall. But obviously when you're in more of a first team environment, maybe the way you treat your players in the men's game and you talk to them and the detail you give them is a little bit different to what you give the female players. The female players love a lot of detail. They love a lot of detail and they ask a lot of questions, which I love, because as a coach, any detail you give them has to be on point, and I really like that. So with a lot of boys and young men, they just want to go and play. So even if you give them the detail, they'll sometimes ignore a lot of it and they just go and play and do their own thing. Where in the female game, they're more receptive to information and want to follow those little nuggets that you're giving them. So I enjoy it and I really love it, yeah.
And how much of a step is it? Obviously, the team did really well to get promotion into the Championship, and obviously the next step, hopefully WSL. But it is a big jump, isn't it, from the level they were playing last year to where they are this year?
Oh, it's a massive jump, and people have to understand it's a massive jump. You've got teams that have been in this league for a good few years, that they know the league. You've got players who are well established in this league. But Watford have some good players. They have some good individuals. They've got some good youngsters that are coming through as well. I was quite impressed with 3 or 4 of the young players in the dev squad that came and trained with the first team, and I was really impressed with them. So I think that as long as you can get enough points to make sure that this year they survive in the league, I think the years to come, I think that it's really looking positive for Watford.
Massive. We're very lucky. Obviously, we mentioned in there. Obviously, we've got Emma and we've got Helen there. We can look at Helen's stats actually, because obviously a fantastic international player as well for Wales. She's got some great stats on that. 96 appearances, 44 goals for Wales, 152 appearances and 142 goals. Tommy, you'd love a goals per game ratio like that.
It's an incredible stat, isn't it? Whether that's women's football, men's football, it's almost irrelevant with that stat there for Helen. And I watched it. She was outstanding a couple of weeks ago. But those stats, I mean, in the men's game, she'd be worth 500 million, wouldn't she? With those stats, and you hear her speak. She's like Gifton's just said. She loves the game of football and loves playing it. She's just got to keep us as fit as she can now and not improve those stats, because they're almost unimprovable, aren't they?
It's
but
amazing.
They keep them going because they're fabulous.
They certainly are. And if you're watching this on a scouting mission, go away. She's one of our players. And of course, we want to see you here this weekend. We've got a big weekend. And of course, Sunday, the women's team are going to be playing against Crystal Palace. It's a 2 p.m. kickoff. We'd love to see you here for that in the FA Women's Championship. You can get tickets for that one by going to tickets.watfordfc.com. 2 p.m. kickoff here at Vicarage Road. We'd love for you to come along and give your support to the women's team who are playing here on Sunday.